because I'm
I'm
knee
gonna be
deep in
doing
that
this.
game.
I'm gonna be doing the same thing because I've uninstalled most of my games. Okay, well, good evening, everyone on TikTok. So let's just gonna go into Sea of Thieves. Oh, there we go. It was having echoing audio, because it was on both the Xbox and the PC. Anyway, so as I'm loading in, welcome to Sunny Redemption Sailing, everyone, where my friend Kevin and I will talk all things video games. So, okay, monthly Game Pass Quest Explorer, play Game Pass. Oh, that reminds me. Did you hear about the whole Microsoft Game Pass thing?
No, if
Um,
it's
so
something that happened today, then no.
it was something that happened today, for sure.
Okay.
Because what happened is, oh, thank you for joining the stream, by the way, Serena. So we're talking about about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and the downfall of Xbox. No, just kidding. Probably
Yeah.
not. Um, well, that's the short version, but we'll get to the long version. Anyway, so we're playing Sea of Thieves, which is an amazing Xbox exclusive that I'm really happy for PS5 players to have. But the
Yeah.
Microsoft Game Pass stuff, since you asked, it was a GameStop ad that said, like, come play Xbox games in a demo at our store on the 10th, because I'm thinking that Microsoft decided to partner with GameStop a little bit to market Xbox a little bit more to, like,
Mhm.
price conscious parents or something. And you can handle the ship management this time, since I
I'm
since
loading
was
in.
the
I
captain last
forgot to
time.
send you an invite,
No
but I'm
worries.
loading in. I'll send you one.
Sure. Anyway, so people flipped out because the Xbox community is on edge right now due
Oh,
to
I can imagine.
all of this nonsense, and we'll get to that. But like, oh, thank you for joining the stream, Fusion. We're about to break it all down, all the news about Xbox and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Um, well, I just sold that today for cash at GameStop. I'm so glad I can still do that, and I'm not being dictated to entirely by our corporate overlords. Um, but yeah, the Microsoft Game Pass thing actually makes sense, because like that, well, that creates a whole
So
environment, I think, that allows them to be like PC Game Pass, PlayStation Game Pass, or
yeah, I get that if that is an actual. So the
it's probably a mistake by
people are
GameStop,
basing this.
but let's say it
Yeah,
is
like
real.
I'm wondering like if this is something that people in the know have said is happening, or if it's just one thing by GameStop.
I
I feel
mean,
like people sometimes put the cart before the horse when stuff like that happens, where it's like, oh,
yeah,
this is definitely happening, and
and and
it
ports
doesn't.
of big games are only being considered at this stage. Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves
Yeah,
are the
but
only likelies, I think,
yeah,
because well, Hi-Fi Rush is a perfect fit for this sort of thing because they can wring a little bit more money out of it, and it's gotten probably the most breakout success of 2024 of 2023. Um, and still continuing popularity. Let me just buy our supplies before I forget.
and I'll choose a voyage. Is there any particular
Not
voyage
really.
type
Thank you
you'd
for
be
joining the
more
stream,
interested in?
Christopher. Anyway, so let's
Pirates
talk
and
to Sue.
problems.
Browse
I'm
stock.
listening.
Oh wait, no.
Sure, I'm
Supply shop.
sharing.
Thank you for joining the stream, Luke. We're about to break it down, but first, um, so yeah, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has pretty solid shooting gameplay. Actually, it's not the greatest in the world, but I've played worse shooters, and it feels kind of Devil May Cry-ish actually, with a lot of air juggling and acrobatics and a
Sure, my
skill
Jessie is all
kill
thumbs
system.
for ya.
With combos and everything, trying to lean into the Rocksteady heritage of great melee combat as well as shooting. But there is a lot of shooting, against very samey purple aliens, with predictable weak spots and such. Oh, I need to turn off the
We
in-game
can
voice chat.
emissary for gold hoarders, I think, because I we're doing a fort if that's all right,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah. Oh, right, yes,
might as well
definitely.
emissary. Hopefully, we don't have a Raid 5 Reaper once we fast
Uh-huh.
travel, but we'll see.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But, like, okay. Suicide Squad is everything wrong with live service games as well, because, well, the gameplay was fine, it just wasn't enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna really push through if the story is bad. So I looked up the story, and it's really bad. It is really bad. It is so bad that it's hard to describe. Let me just do, like, audio 1 second. Proximity chat, hang on. Player chat indicator, hang on, ugh. Proximity chat, directional, I guess. I don't really know how to fix that, so I'm not gonna bother. We gotta get going to open seas as more people join the stream. Anyway. So. The reason why it's bad, how much do you know about the plot of the Arkham games? Because I could either get really into it, or I could give somewhat.
I mean, I've only played Arkham Asylum, so that's... And even then, I never beat it, so...
There are several twists that happen in later games.
That's alright. You can spoil away.
Okay, so in Arkham City, the Joker dies.
I do that, yeah.
I mean, that's a
pretty
when that dramatic moment in gaming that changed my perception of how Batman stories could be forever. Because until then, I had never seen the Joker die. It was a shock to me, because he always seemed to come out fine, but that Titan experiment really hurt him. I mean, they kept trying to bring him back kind of in, like, flashbacks in Arkham Knight. I thought it was okay. It was great to hear more Mark Hamill, but Kevin Conroy couldn't banter with him because in Arkham Knight, he's in your head due to being, dead. So Batman just kind of stands there and doesn't say much to his old nemesis, especially if he's going psychotic. But, like... They're bringing back the Joker as DLC because the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game is technically part of the Arkhamverse, but sacrificed Arkham's corpse to get the super nerds like me to buy it. The super Batman Arkham nerds, who were like hanging on their last thread of sanity. And now I want to take the stupid pills and junkle. Oh... I don't know how they're so bad at storytelling now. This is supposed to be Rocksteady. Like, maybe it's all the layoffs. Maybe the reason why so many games are bad is because they keep firing everybody with experience.
Yep.
And I mean, most of the layoffs that Microsoft did recently for Activision were in support staff, but like, if games don't do well, are they gonna start laying off people? They were hiring pretty aggressively. Is that going to be a quick way to cut costs? That's probably why they're even considering any ports to PS5 at all, is to try to make more money out of these acquisitions. Because, well, instead of giving it one more year to see if, like, Call of Duty could bring in the real big numbers, or perhaps accepting that infinite growth is never going to be a thing, Microsoft has once again thrown away its lead in subscription services, or is about to, potentially, because I doubt that a PS5 Game Pass would do all that well unless they had, like, a lot of third-party games on the service. I mean, if you want to play Call of Duty on PS5 on a subscription service, you can get Ubisoft Classics for $6. That's a bit of a problem for Microsoft, because subscription services tend to lose money for a long time. And I guess they were kind of tired of losing money for a while, but the company's worth $3 trillion. Although most of that is off the back of OpenAI and enterprise software, both of which are, like, OpenAI, they just were venture capitalists in it. They invested in the lead, and now they have the lead. And that's okay. That makes perfect sense for them, but it's kind of, you know, subject to OpenAI's whims and is currently making Sam Altman into a godlike dictator of his own company. If the board had just said that he was being a harasser, I think people would have understood. But anyway, that's a tangent. I think it'll be like 1-year exclusivity windows for games that are really popular in multi-platform franchises, but like, part of the point of Indiana Jones wasn't it to sell Xbox? If people will now know to just wait a year.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, it's like, a year exclusivity is still a lot when you're talking about a game that ends up being like either good or just, you know, a conversation piece. Like, for example, obviously this is a bit different because it's been exclusive for 4 years at this point, but Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's like, you know, people were holding out hope for an Xbox port, and then it's like, oh,
yeah, honestly,
seems like this game's good and people are enjoying it, so I'm just going to get it on PS5, or PS4 at the time.
The only reason why people aren't being more concerned with antitrust for Sony is because of the fact that Microsoft is a bigger company by volume. Like, there is no way that any other industry, I feel like, well, if the government was actually doing its job, which is a whole other issue, where like, if an entire...
Gotcha.
If the entire grocery store market was being bought up in exclusivity, people would be mad. But apparently, since it's video games, people don't care that an entire genre was basically bribed away from being on Xbox at all to strangle competition illegally.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if that's an apples to apples thing, because
no, it's not.
Video games ultimately are like a luxury good. It's not.
Yeah, that's true, but
same as like
then why bother? If it's just a luxury good, then why bother challenging the Microsoft Activision merger in court? They clearly have an economic impact to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars.
Well,
most of that is in mobile, of course, and Microsoft is really just hoping for the ability to sideload on iOS to avoid Apple, but Apple's fighting tooth and nail. Well, the thing is, I think people are worried about the hardware going away, and I don't think that's going to happen for at least a couple generations.
Yeah, those concerns I don't think are entirely unfounded, but like I think they're skipping a few steps to get there. It's like, okay,
and probably most of the ports will be
on PS5, then maybe the popularity of the Xbox console wanes a bit, and when the Xbox console popularity at what point does Microsoft cut it off entirely? But I don't. Yeah, like you said, I think that's a few years away, if ever.
Yeah, they do sell quite a bit of hardware, and that anchors subscriptions for them. So.
Yeah, it would be shocking to me if they didn't have another generational hardware like rollout, and then from there I feel like things can change so quickly that like who knows where they will be at by then. Like, will selling 20 or 30 million be enough for them to just keep putting out hardware regardless? You know, like they're never going to hit, even if they're never going to hit 100 million again. Like, is it still worth it for them to just put out the hardware?
It's worth noting that they have only sold 30 million, but it's 3 years into the life cycle. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
More exploding barrels.
I'm saying the prospect of a next Xbox, if they do end up putting their game multi-platform, as is rumored, it's like, okay, what impact will that have on the sales of a potential next Xbox? And will that be something where they will, start reconsidering having their own hardware?
Well, the thing is that...
But that's something that's years away from
oh my god.
pondering. I'll be right there.
Thanks.
I know, they're all over.
Oh, well, that is the point of this. It is very fun, but, yeah, okay, we get it. Stop with the tutorial messages.
Okay,
I really
let's
need
leave
to
these guys to the water and explode them.
Yep, exactly. Let me just eat some food. And remember to bring some,
Here we go.
Blunderbuss's next life. Okay, there we go. And next one is on me. Okay. Let's see. So, I mean, there's also rumors that say this is coming in 2026 with a Switch-style handheld. Man, I mean, I thought they were just supporting the handheld PC marketplace. That seems a little bit wild for me. And the 2026 timeline seems a little off.
Yeah, I would be kind of surprised if that. I mean, if that did happen, it would feel like a similar situation with the original Xbox, where they're just jumping ahead to whatever. You know, they're kind of trying to leapfrog a little bit, but I don't know.
Especially if there's a PS5 Pro, which there almost certainly is, because Sony
is
butthurt about losing the power struggle, even though it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if the PS5 Pro does come out this year, and then it'll be like, this will be the first time in a while where, like, especially if Microsoft does put out like a whole new, generation in their terms in 2026, it'll be interesting to see the console makers be like out of sync again, because the past two generations, PS4, Xbox One, and then Series X, PS5 were both, launched essentially the same time.
The big problem is that there's barely been any exclusive games for this generation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of just the direction we might just stay in, like, where we have this almost permanent cross-gen for a lot of lower-end stuff that, developers look at and say, like, why would we ignore this huge market for long enough?
Yeah, that's fair, and once cloud streaming becomes a thing, that's really big.
I think most people thought that the cross-gen period would have been over by now. Like, even the most far-reaching estimates of it that I remember reading when the consoles first launched were saying, like, oh yeah, this will be like a year or two of cross-gen, and yet we still have pretty big games launching cross-gen. Not all games, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is about to come out, like, that's PS5 only. But
I mean, there are plenty of smaller games that are also current-gen exclusive. Like, I just picked up War Hospital from GameStop, and it is Xbox Series X only game, but like, well, I guess this is about the point where now they're really starting to drop things, but I'm pretty sure that Call of Duty will be cross-gen still, because their engine is ridiculously optimized for everything. And that's part of the problem, is at least for the idea of current-gen having exclusive games anytime soon. Because,
I guess I'm not too hung up on, like, there being exclusive. It's like, well, if the game, I bought the hardware for the performance. It's not necessarily the fact that the games can't run on old hardware. It's like, it's that they'll run better here.
Right. And that's true, but it's also indicative of the fact that games have been sticking to formulas for a long time. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League took 9 years to develop, mostly because of, like, a bunch of reboots and at the pre-production stage, it seems. But I cannot wait for the expose on this, because it'll probably be juicy. That I'm sure Jason Schreier will get to at Bloomberg. Once he left Kotaku, that site was doomed. But anyway, so, oh my goodness, again with the exploding barrels.
Yeah.
Even the...
There we go.
I don't think the Shade Skeletons usually carry this many exploding barrels. Ow! My health bar was green for a while. I don't want anybody to think I'm just terrible at this game, because...
Yeah, you're just having a rough time tonight.
It's just the amount of exploding barrels. They are my Achilles heel.
I would probably switch to a sniper or something with how many there have been, because that makes it a little bit easier to pick them off.
That's true. But we're about to win anyway, so...
Yeah, we're close. After this, usually I think it spawns the boss wave.
To, like, be daring like that. Oh, come on. Maybe not that daring, but hey.
I'm not going to be able to save you. There's too many guys around.
It's okay,
here.
I'm just gonna stay and snipe this time because I know my limits when it comes to this type of voyage. But okay, so like, and then the thing is that you need a lot of people playing on multiple platforms of varying different technical levels in order to justify a giant live service game that lasts, 5-10 years. So that was always going to be out of sync with generations, and with PC-like settings becoming the norm now, it was bound to happen that generational leaps weren't going to be as big because of Moore's Law. They'll try to extend it with AI. As I mentioned last time, I have a strong prediction that Apple's new Siri for the Vision Pro will inevitably make AI cool, just like they made a mixed reality headset that Microsoft made several years beforehand cool because they had cool apps and design and pretty much everything else. Oh, we still have enemies, though.
Yeah, there's still going to be a boss. That was
I
just
thought the boss
precursor.
was... Okay.
Nope.
Well... That's certainly something. Anyway. Like, they want Kill the Justice League to live for several years. Which is why they have the dumb multiverse concept, because they can just bring in skins of different characters. But, now I'm really angry, because, like, Arkham Batman is not a skin of Batman. Arkham Batman is a legend. Like, this guy defeated an entire army by himself. Yet 4 people with guns, including one man-fish. Take him out. Because he decides to stand around and just take it. Like, all the Justice League kind of just, like, stands there for an incredibly long amount of time to let you shoot them with guns.
Okay.
And if that's the biggest thing that they're gonna do with DC is just like, you can shoot Superman with guns. Are you happy now?
Hooray.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally.
And it ties into some dumb multiverse thing where, like, the characters cross over into the movie realm, and because tie-ins and synergy and blah blah blah. All video games are to Zaslav at WBD is a high-profit way to try to climb his way out of $43 billion of debt. So, you throw more live service games, because everybody's doing live service games. And everybody who manages to get to the top of that incredibly small pyramid manages to make a lot of money. Like, Apex Legends is going to be supported for another 5 years, with a bunch of fresh modes and such. I still am angry that a single-player studio that was known for its multiplayer as well, but, like, a single-player studio. Because, well, their single-player was really good. They were a single-player at heart. Uh-oh. Crap! We have a pirate on board our ship! Ah, damn it.
Oh, that's bad. Okay.
Alright, we gotta get...
I'm underwater. I'm gonna wait for you to respawn. And I'll just look out for them. I've got a sniper, so if I see them, I'll try to get them from afar.
Well...
I wonder if they were camped out on this island. No, you know what? There's a rowboat nearby. Maybe they...
That was what the rowboat was. Okay, got it.
Okay. I see them. They're on top of our ship. Hopefully... I'm just kind of... Yeah, they're up on the back of the ship on top. They're trying to shoot at me, so try to catch them off guard. I'm trying to distract them if you can get to them. Oh, now there's a shark.
I killed them both. It was us.
Okay, nice. Nice.
Now let's get the fuck out of here!
Get out of here. Alright, you can leave. I can mermaid. I'm a little ways away.
Okay, thrilling escape.
Alright. Well, we didn't do the fort, but we got a lot of...
You know what? We got a lot of loot. It's fine.
Yeah.
We need to get out of here alive, which is most important.
I wonder where they're...
It's okay. We just need to get the fuck out of Dodge.
I'm kind of looking around.
Okay.
You know what? maybe you can sail away. I might just try to beat the fort guy and see if they come back around here.
Yeah, that could be good.
Because I'm still at the fort. Like, you can maybe just sail away and, I don't
that's
know,
what
you
I'm
can cash
hoping.
in what we have. Because most of what we have isn't gold hoarders loot. So we just cash that in safely because we won't get any bonus for it anyways.
Okay, well, I just figured out the nearest outpost,
Yeah.
which is Ancient Spire, of course, so I need to get there, but I need to keep an eye out as well for the ship. Like, this part of the gameplay I'm actually good at, everybody.
I'm gonna look
On
around
the
as I
stream.
fight this guy to see if, because I didn't see any ships on the
Well,
horizon.
I
And
see
did do
a ship.
scan.
I see a ship.
Okay.
Nope, I am
Okay.
so doping out. Nope,
Yeah,
but not out of
that's
here.
probably them.
Okay.
If they rowboated all the way over here, that's probably them.
Okay,
I would
so
guess.
I'm gonna try turning around at Devil's Ridge to hide myself, and then going to plunder.
Okay.
I mean, if I have to come back because you say the area is clear, then I can just do
Yeah,
it because
if-
the area is clear. It'll be shorter to
if
come
you-
back if I have to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see that other ship. I'm watching them. So yeah, just try to stay away from them. And if you do need me to warp back, let me know. I'm just fighting the boss.
Yeah, that's very fair. Very fair indeed. Okay. Whew, now we could get back to what we were talking about, kind of. Which is that the live servicification of everything has turned games into variations on a different type of the same thing. Sliced bread works. It works. It does dopamine into your face. And very literally soon into your face, because I'm sure that, the AR gaming and such will be big in the next decade. Especially once the technology is there to make it slimmer and such. I'm probably getting a 3rd generation Apple Vision Pro. And that's probably when they have a bunch of apps to take advantage of that. Like AR, What the Golf on your table. It is a big game, as well as Fruit Ninja at the moment for them. Which are small potatoes compared to, like, if they were to build on the knowledge that they gained from porting Resident Evil 4 to iPhone and making a VR just porting the VR version because they can run games with an M2. So, like, the technology is advancing quicker and quicker, so I suppose a 2026 Xbox makes sense. However, I will not be buying it, because, well, I bought the Xbox Series X at launch, but I had to buy another one after I sold mine to my launch one to get money to help me move, you know? So I'm just kind of turning around to see what's going on. Is everything clear? Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just fighting the boss. Is the other ship, like, did they leave?
I'm checking that out, but it seems like it. However, I also see a rowboat here, and we'll try to grab that.
They're here.
Okay,
How did
never
they
mind
get back
then.
here so quick? They must be closer to us somehow. I don't know where they would be. All right, I'm swimming away.
I apparently forgot how to do a ship by myself.
Away. They're both chasing me.
Okay,
and they're probably gonna kill me. They're probably gonna kill me here.
I gotta turn around then.
Yeah,
It's
just
okay. I will save you later.
Yeah.
If it comes to that. And I also gotta go with the.
Right. I'm dead, so I'm just gonna join you on the ship because they're both at the.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
probably.
Okay.
What's probably gonna happen is they'll probably get the treasure from the downstairs area. That's all right. We got some stuff from them.
Yeah, we did. So, I mean, it's a perfectly valid tactic to loot the fort after. And, yeah, we didn't keep much loot.
Alright, I'm back. Where are we?
It was all non-gold stuff, but we can cancel the voyage and perhaps do something that's a little less lengthy. Especially if they're back and attacking us. Maybe we could try to just quickly swing by Ancient Spire. I could probably just drop the couple skeletons we have. Or skulls, excuse me.
Hold on a sec. I'm just wondering how part of me wants to take their rowboat so they don't have a way to get the treasure back easily. They're definitely not on the ship, right?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd be
Okay.
panicking. You know me.
Yeah.
I would be panicking. I'd be like, they're on the ship,
Okay.
and I'm gonna kill you, and blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess we can do Age Inspire real quick, and then let me put down New Voyage and close this one.
Yep, probably just a simple gold quarter thing if we want to gain gold quarter stuff real quick.
Sure.
To make up for lost time, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I put one down.
Well.
Okay, it looks like the other crew beat the boss, so they will get that treasure.
Yep, whatever. It's fine. We lived. That's the main thing. And our ship didn't sink, sending us to places unknown, and we got some loot. But, well... Okay, yeah. Thanks for the tutorial tips again. Sea of Thieves. Can they leave us alone? We know what we're doing here. Okay, cool. I did not get any meat to cook with, so... But the thing is, like... Yeah, Xbox is definitely not doomed, whatever they do. The hardware is... The spending on software on Xbox is like $15 billion. It makes money. They just would like to make money a little faster, so they're porting some old games on other hardware, because the old games haven't really made an argument, or the smaller games haven't really made an argument for buying this box. Especially because they have ports on PC due to the gigantic audience there. It's like saying, HBO Max got rid of Band of Brothers and gave it to Netflix. Max is dying. No, they're... All of these companies are horse trading money to each other to keep each other alive.
Yeah.
That's how the economy works now. I'll just... A few limited suppliers. There's a ship there! Nope! Let's get the fuck out of here!
Okay, yep. I see
Loading cannonballs just in case, but I don't want to fight them if I don't have to. Perhaps a warning shot might be necessary, though, if we get close enough. And I'm gonna snuff the lights. And... Yep, no upstairs lantern either. Thank you very much, game. And I just took the shark off the grill. It took a second for it to disappear for some reason. I mean, this is a game that relies on multiplayer populations, so I assume that the biggest games in contention to go multi-platform are multiplayer. Because whatever the amount of Game Pass subscribers, you usually cannot sustain your multiplayer population on Game Pass alone. Like, not usually. I mean, Bleeding Edge tried and they're dead now. In all but name. Like, they're keeping it alive, I guess, with servers that are private or something. But, nah. It's over. They tried that sort of thing and it didn't work. They tried it with Crackdown 3 and it didn't work. So, why would they try it with Sea of Thieves? I mean, Sea of Thieves has been really good.
By the way, I was just going to stop here, because that other ship's pretty close.
Well, I'm selling my skull here, and then teleporting back anyway, so...
Okay.
Well, I did not know that that was the... Oh, I can claim some promotions. I forgot about that.
Yeah, why don't you do that? I'm just going to sail, because our next island we're headed to is Devil's Ridge right in front of me. So we can just, keep our loot on us, I guess. And maybe try the outpost again later when there's not another ship nearby.
Shop. Ooh, Order of Souls hurdy-gurdy. Or, oh no, you know what? The pocket watch looks appropriately gothic and dark, like it's a cursed artifact. I just like to comment via notification about Moana 2. Because that's happening now, and
oh yeah, I just saw the headline about that.
People were like, Shea Frillis is gonna be so happy about that, and people were like, who? And I said, animation reviewer on YouTube, he's really good, and he really likes Moana to the point that he has Tomatoa the crab as his profile picture on YouTube, and generally animates pictures of him when talking about like his perspective on reviews. And that's part of the personality and charm of the Shea Frillis channel. which has been consistently putting out good content for people who enjoy animation reviews, if not necessarily watching a bunch of animation all the time. Though, my biggest ones right now are anime, I guess, Japanese animation, Violet Evergarden, My Happy Marriage, and Delicious Dungeon, to name a few. But anyway, so Moana 2 will probably be okay. Apparently they got some TikTok writers from the Bridgerton musical to do it. I'm confused how that works, but like, I hope they don't try to copy Lin-Manuel Miranda again. They tried that with Wish, and the villain song apparently sounded AI generated to a lot of people. Where is the mermaid that's supposed to take me out of here? Are you really...
No, I'm pretty far away. I'm like at a whole nother island.
Huh. Capsized charters, I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's the Monkey Island stuff.
Oh, okay, well...
Which I'm now just realizing we never actually did the last episode of that.
Yeah, I would totally be up for that on stream.
Yeah.
I don't know how many viewers we'll get, but Monkey Island means something to those people, so yeah. I'd be totally down for finishing that another time. Well, there's this other ship here.
No longer see the other ship. Oh, there's another ship. Okay, they must have been waiting for us to leave the outpost.
And finally, the mermaid finally does their job.
If you want to make a quick attempt on them, you can.
Yeah, we need everything, all the hands we can get on this ship.
Okay.
Especially if they close in and attack. I don't want to be occupied with something else.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna park us
ooh, supplies.
on the other side over here.
Might be very useful, including cooked megalodon. Thank you for joining the stream, Fabienne. Let's see. Okay then. I'm gonna put some stuff away so I can actually get more supplies. 1 second, but okay. I mean, the thing is that Phil Spencer hasn't been doing his greatest communications job lately, and he seems kind of tired. Like, he's just like, well, I'll tell you in a business update, please. I had to have a lot of yelly board meetings about it.
Yeah, it makes me wonder where within the company, like, the push for multi-platform is coming from. Like, it doesn't feel like a particularly Phil Spencer move to, like, kind of just be doing this in the background and not have it communicated and have it just have to leak out like this, but who knows?
I feel like
I just don't know where it's coming from particularly.
I feel like here's what happened. Satya Nadella is not really paying attention to Xbox right now because he's all about making Google dance by having the lead in AI. You know, that planet-killing technology that's going to be in everything because everybody just decided it. I mean, it'll probably help with a lot of uses, but they have not addressed the problems with it, and I don't know. Microsoft, again, it just seems like it's coasting off of somebody else's work. Because it, again, invested in the market leader. But they make money otherwise in safe, boring enterprise software. They are a safe, boring company at heart. Xbox has always been a side hobby. So I'm imagining that some giant jerk at the Windows company or the Copilot thing is like, we gotta get a new Xbox out by 2026 and it's gotta have Copilot on it. But also we need to make money because holy shit, why did Satya Nadella approve these giant acquisitions that are clearly not gonna make money right now unless you sell games on PlayStation? Which kind of undercuts the whole reason that I believe that Phil Spencer wanted to go after these companies to begin with, was to at least make some of their games exclusives. But if he's now being told, you have to make everything timed exclusive because we need the money, when again, the company is worth $3 trillion, so I don't know why there's all this, like, scrimping to make more money. I mean, it's not like Microsoft hasn't sold games on PlayStation before. I'm not saying, like, they suddenly decided to do this. It's more just that, like, why now?
Yeah, it's a very sudden strategy change. Like, okay, I mean, I'm not against it if it's what
No.
they want to do. It's just like,
If that sustains
why
the future of Game
why at this
Pass,
particular moment in time when it felt like they were kind of pivoting into, you know, when they had this acquisition happen, it's like, okay, I guess they're gonna pin down exclusivity for non-Call of Duty stuff probably, and continue with that.
I mean, they
And
probably will, but again, for most likely a period of time
yeah,
instead of
and
forever.
and again, this is all so speculative until they actually say anything. But like,
Right.
I feel like if they're thinking
Nobody should freak out right
Starfield,
now.
then nothing is off the table. Like, even if now they're saying, oh, it'll be a time exclusivity, I don't know. Like, I don't put too much stock in that rather than the fact that they are going not exclusive at all. Like, there could be varying windows and lengths of time. They could just decide to go
Right.
day and date.
I mean, I doubt day and date because that would destroy the Xbox hardware and cut the anchor out
Right, and that's
from their
that's the
subscription
thing that
service.
people are. I think people who are very invested in the Xbox ecosystem exclusively are the most worried about happening.
Right. I
Like,
mean,
I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening in the announcement that they're making, soon. But I don't see that as a like out of the realm of any possibility, especially on a case by case basis.
maybe they don't think that exclusivity matters because they can just offer a different price point to the Xbox customer. Like,
Yeah.
I doubt that they'll be able to get a Game Pass like they want to on PlayStation for a couple of
No.
years at least.
No
Because
way Sony lets that happen.
Yeah, no, that would eat Sony's lunch. They're not going to let Microsoft have lunch other than the stuff they've already done in Call of Duty. Because they were complaining about Call of Duty and that was their whole case. But like... I mean, they're gonna do it with Nintendo because they know the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna sell like hotcakes, and it'll be a Sega Dreamcast situation where they experiment with the like economics of actually being directly in the handheld business, and then they make a Nintendo Switch clone for PC gamers. Because they have the muscle and first-party know-how to do that sort of thing, and they're doing the the PC Xbox app optimized for handhelds. So I can see it being possible, absolutely. I mean, a handheld that just downloads the Xbox PC library app, that would be a kind of compelling argument. Because my laptop cannot run most of these except through the cloud. And, right, I wanted to get more food. And so... whoa, okay. We gotta be careful with that, bad boy.
Yep.
Okay, what island are we on again? Oh, yeah. No, wait. Hang on, wrong one. Okay,
Devil's
so
Ridge.
yeah, I guess on the other side of the island. So maybe it is 2026. Again, not buying it because there's gonna be a long cross jump period. So why would I bother? Especially since now with the Series X, I have the ability to play discs. Even if they get rid of physical games, I'm sure that movie nerds will collect movies for a while. And like, I already have a huge collection of DVDs and Blu-rays and such. Why would I give that up and then want to buy that back? I could see myself buying the disc drive that's external if it gives Series S owners access to discs, because that would be interesting. Again, it would be an optional add-on, and so I don't think that would revive the physical market, but it could at least give another option for collectors who are probably wanting to be on the cheap, but also want cheap games. Because otherwise, there's some concern to be had about Microsoft, like, jacking up prices for everything, because you're trapped in their ecosystem. That's what I worry for Series S mains, though. Like, my friend Billy seems to be fine with that. But what happens when it's like $20 a month, $30 a month, and like maybe that's okay because that's all he plays for the most part. I think just buying a game here or there, but it's probably not the most valuable customer for Xbox in terms of, like, retention, I think, because, well, Game Pass just doesn't make money by itself. It's a loss leader for the rest of the store, was the argument. And that there is some evidence that that helped, but doesn't seem to have really proven a big uplift by itself. It's usually Fortnite transactions and other free-to-play game microtransactions, as well as sales of big games, like Call of Duty, you know? They make percentages off of that, and then the rest of the store is gravy. So, like, I guess they were like maybe wanting, you know, this to be more than a $15 billion business, because that's a valid concern for a company that wants to make money, especially in the low margin and high risk video game industry, where, you know, you're a hit or you flop. There's no in between for the big games now, especially when they're gambling on having an audience for 10 years. And they put all these microtransaction hooks that they hope will help them out in the long run. I don't know that Justice League will get the life that it wants. I mean, they'll improve the combat, sure, yeah. But
I mean, and that game just feels like the last one out the door of, like, the current trend of live service, where it was greenlit so long ago, probably before, you know, well before, like, Avengers came out and kind of did not great. And so it's like, well, we're just going to keep making this and see how it does. And, you know, people just are not interested in that. If you weren't one of the early ones in that model, you know, like Destiny or something, or even Fortnite, even though it's a little later, like, it's tough to really get your foot in the door with a live service game these days.
I think the bitterness in my mouth with live service started in 2017 because there were several lackluster updates to Destiny 2. PUBG had come out, and it burned me out after 3 weeks. And then, like, Fortnite betrayed me, because I paid for the $60 version of the game that was the survival mode, which had a code come with the disc to basically make it untradeable. So it was a paperweight that after you installed the game. And after Fortnite Battle Royale became successful, they just never supported it. This is why, despite like, you know, playing it occasionally with friends and trying out the new update and liking the games okay, the Fortnitification of appeal the gameplay to everyone does increase accessibility for games, but also limits what is considered successful. Because games don't take risks anymore. Or if they do, they don't sell very well.
Well, yeah, like, at the AAA level, it's tough to have,
it is.
Especially in live service, because some games are still taking plenty of risks. They're just not getting the visibility necessarily.
Yeah, I guess I should have qualified that with AAA games, but it feels
and
like
I would
the
even
whole
narrow that down to
failing.
live service, because, like, there are still some interesting AAA games happening. For sure.
Yeah,
even if they're not my type of game all the time.
I am looking forward to Alone in the Dark. I'm not sure that would have been a successful AAA game, but, like, a polished up remake or thing that is new in a long dead series could probably bring in the $60. I mean, it is for me, and I've never played Alone in the Dark, but
yeah,
I keep hearing about Alone in the Dark, and I want to finally try and see if Alone in the Dark is any good.
With that stuff, I just wonder, like, who really out there is still caring too much about Alone in the Dark, except for people in their 30s to 40s at this point.
Yeah, it's a veteran franchise that I've heard about. I'm probably the minority there in terms of Alone in the Dark buyers.
Yeah.
But
like, I have a passing interest, but, like, that's what I'm definitely going to wait on.
I mean, my budget in terms of time and money for big single-player games is limited, but I should have at least one of them freed up, because, like, I want to finish Infinite Wealth before I do another game. I want to actually finish
Yeah,
my
good luck
games.
with that.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, I'm like 40 hours into Infinite Wealth, and I just got a whole new
Oh
progression
no.
system.
I'm gonna be hooked forever.
I'm
That's
in
the real
chapter
life.
8.
That's the real
I'm
service
in
games. It's just
chapter 8,
games.
and they just introduced a whole new system in a whole new area.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
boy. Well, that's.
I'm enjoying every minute for what it's worth. So, like, I was very happy, especially because I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very much a fan service thing that they're doing. Like,
Well,
longtime fans, like, oh,
you
this
know,
is like
that's
the
fine.
perfect way to do this.
That's fine. I probably will be fine with just digesting that slowly. I mean,
Yeah.
a month shouldn't be too bad, especially if, like, I actually focus on a game instead of just ping-ponging between older games um, and new ones that I want to try on Game Pass. Like, you know, if I only have time for X amount of gaming, then I should focus that on one really good game instead of lots of ones that are not so good. Like, I really wish I could take back the hours that I spent with Kill the Justice League.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, worst boss fights ever, apparently. Why would I waste my time with that, and yet I spent the money? Because I wanted to see how the Arkham universe ended. It's my favorite game series of all time. They manipulated my trust. And that feels not okay. I feel very not okay about this. Um, and that's kind of a universal take now. Is like there's all these articles everywhere that are saying Batman was not done justice the in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Because when your game is a product, first and foremost, then why bother with any narrative consistency? They'll complain, but they'll buy anyway.
Yeah.
And I fed into that. But I wanted it to be good. I wanted the send-off of Kevin Conroy to be good. Can you blame me? I'm a huge Batman fan. And the Arkham games are my favorite Batman media of all time. Because of the dark and mature storytelling. Because of the atmosphere that just simply wasn't present anywhere else. In the fact that even now, Arkham Knight looks better than half of next-gen games. And that's a 900p for an Xbox One version. I don't think they ever got an Xbox One X enhancement or anything like that. But that felt like a good send-off, even if I had my problems with the game. It still retained the amazing Arkham gameplay, which I thought, okay, Arkham story is continuing in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, fine. And Gotham Knights is a new game? It was actually supposed to be the sequel to Arkham Knight, where there's like a Batman Beyond sort of premise, and, I believe it was Damian? Yeah, Damian is supposed to be Batman's,
I'm
new...
surprised that like they haven't really gone for a Batman Beyond thing with the Arkham series. Like that
Because it
seems
would
like
be
such a
perfect.
slam dunk. Yeah.
And it wasn't like people... I mean, yeah, people were tired of, like, all the Arkham spin-offs and didn't like Arkham Origins, but they quieted down for 9 years. I don't think people were... I think people were really wanting a return to the Arkham gameplay and story, because, well, that was really good. It's one of the best video game, like, series of all time in the estimations of many people for a bunch of reasons. It changed superhero games forever by showing that it was possible to do in a tight way. By basically just making it a third-person beat-em-up, which that genre had long since faded, and so having that burst onto the scene really worked out well. It was also part of a time of real creativity in gaming, the 2007 to 10 period. Because, well, that was the first time I played Borderlands. And it changed my life because, well, I hadn't really experienced an open-world shooter like this one. All the shooters that I played were, in linear bursts. Like Bioshock, like Call of Duty. But, well, then there was, Batman Arkham and like a couple years later, Tomb Raider, and before that, The Darkness 2. Like, all of these really good games that hooked me because they trusted the player. And I worry that if everything is for everyone, then what will be special about gaming? Because, like, I don't know if an Arkham game would be, if Arkham Asylum, as it was in 2009, with a bit of graphical polish, would actually be sold if it didn't exist before as a $60 game, because it probably would have taken forever to make, and like they would have been really obsessed with the graphics and all the graphic settings, blah blah blah. But that's not what makes a Batman game special. You have the graphics, yes, and I didn't mind the downgraded graphics of Suicide Squad because they made it more open in Metropolis, which was cool. So I was like, I'll give it a chance. But like Arkham Asylum has one of the best designed maps in gaming history because it was intentionally designed as a map for exploration to really flex the potential of this series. And when you just have slidey, shooty gameplay like everybody else, the open world becomes a little less special. You know what I would want to get ported to PS5? Please do a port of Sunset Overdrive, Microsoft. I will get a PS6 for that. Or a sequel. Like, that would be quite excellent, actually, to do.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like the Insomniac leaks sort of are like, okay, that's probably not on the cards.
Then outsource it to another studio. I don't care.
Yeah, hey, they got Blue Point. Sony's
yeah,
got
you know
Blue
what?
Point. Throw them on it.
Yeah, because, like, then Microsoft can sell a new game, and it gets to be Insomniac name on it, because they own this series, and then they'll do a timed exclusivity thing on Xbox for the sequels, and then come back. Again, this is money horse trading in video games to survive. This is what's gonna happen, I think. That and probably one or two more acquisitions. I'm betting it's a non-gaming conglomerate with heavy interest in gaming, like Amazon buying like EA or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. EA has already sold its soul anyway, in the name of the almighty dollar, so... I mean, they're the worst offenders, honestly, because again, they took my beloved Titanfall 3 from me! Why? What did I do to deserve that? Titanfall 2 was so good, but if they had just been given a third game, they could have nailed it by now. And that would be the live service game, because people would actually want to play it! I mean, it's not that people don't play Apex Legends, but it's just that Apex Legends is nothing special. By comparison. I'm sorry, I tried it several times. It just doesn't click with me. Ow, I am having a hard time with this map. Because I was looking at the problem.
Oh, that would explain it. But I'm still having trouble finding them on the correct map, too.
No worries,
I'm going
buddy.
for the one on the southwest right now.
Thank you for joining, Various Kareen. Sometimes these names go by too fast for me to read them. Sorry. Thank you for joining, Omerel, sir. The SunnyRedemption sailing show happens whenever we happen to be available. and I will eventually figure out how to do it with, like, Halo in the background, because that game can be intense. But, well, that might just hook more people in, and then we give them little bits of it. We'll see. I mean, I want to play the new Halo update, and I probably will have time on Saturday, but, well, we'll see. When you're available and what you want to do.
Yeah, because I'm working a ton of extra hours the next couple weeks, so my availability will be very scattershot.
That is perfectly fine. Okay, well, yeah. So I'll figure out how to do it on my own as well. But anyway, so far we have concluded that the idea of PS5 games being made by Microsoft is not a destroyer of Xbox, as people are claiming at the top of their lungs, trying to be relevant as gaming journalists or super Xbox fanboys who do clickbaity rage titles on YouTube, because everything is rage culture now, and I'm really, really annoyed at that. Even and especially gaming. Oh, well, thank you for finding treasure this evening for us. Thank you all who are joining in now. I really appreciate it. Anyway, so I'm gonna see if there's any more useful supplies here. Empty.
By the way, this is probably going to be my last voyage.
Sure, that's fine. We can just... Are we, Yeah, I guess due to the fact that we did not get the horde loot we were promised, we were never going to make grade 5.
We probably would have hit. We probably would hit grade 4 if we had gotten that. But oh well.
Okay, well that's fine. Anyhow, so let's see. Alrighty then. Let's see. Where the frick this? Now I know why you don't really like doing that on this island, but well.
Yeah, it's not always so bad. There's which one are you going for? The one on the southeast?
Yes, that's the only one remaining, right? Or are you looking?
No, there's one up on the northwest as well.
Oh, so there is. Maybe that would be better for me anyway.
And the one on the southeast is like way up top, I think.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to the little island then.
Okay, I'll do the southeast one then.
That sounds like a plan. Okay, so okay then. Well, what was I gonna say? Yeah, alright, so like I think Halo Master Chief Collection would be a good port to PS5. That game is super old, and you know what? Just
I think
PS5 players play old Halo games.
If you are going to like wade into having Halo on another console, like that's probably the one to do it with before Infinite, just to kind of like dip your toes in and alleviate the enraged fanboys, I guess.
Right. Well,
who would like get super protective and upset about it in a weird way.
I mean, I'm not like sympathetic to their cause, because again,
I mean, I can kind of understand it, but at the end of the day, it's a video game. Like, I don't know, like I'm not even just saying this about Xbox fanboys, but like any fanboy is going to get weird and protective about, you know, the beloved IP going to a different place. Like, I remember when Nintendo announced Super Mario Run, that was even like, oh my god, I can't believe Nintendo would do this. They sold their souls to Apple for some reason.
Right, yeah. I'm only on the side of having exclusives at all because I didn't like getting bullied for years by my console choice. Like, I never instigated any console warring. It was always PS4 people invading Xbox subreddits. We were trying to talk quietly about the future of Xbox and, you know, when were we going to get this exclusive game and what's happening to the studio that closed. You know, like, I only want, like, Xbox to do well, and I want PlayStation to do well, and I want Nintendo to do well. So if, you know, porting over Sea of Thieves, old Halo, old Gears of War collection, like, if that's what has to happen, then so be it. Like, if that's what gives Xbox the money to justify continuing, because, again, the new games will be exclusive to sell the shiny box to the super nerds. Like, there is no way they're getting rid of that entirely. That is lucrative. It's just not lucrative enough anymore, because they are in third place. And because it is expensive to create new IP and to, buy entire gaming publishers for $70 billion. But, like, you know, again, I can see, like, oh, well, if this is less special, then why don't I just get a PS5? And maybe you do. Maybe you get a PS5. I personally just, well, I think part of the problem was that the thermal paste slid off because I didn't use the stand. Oops. So it didn't display an image at all. But part of it was that I hadn't turned it on in months. So that's why I sold my PS5. Because, like, I don't like the fact that I only get to open one game at a time on PS5. I like Quick Resume. A lot of people will like Quick Resume. A lot of people will be very attracted by the fact that the Xbox is cheap. Like, that's the basically, they're betting that it's more of a hardware selling point to just have hardware that does a specific thing than to have specific games all the time. That are, like, just sitting around collecting dust. And not making any money because they're a value add to a subscription service. But they haven't really been selling in a while, and they could be selling more on another platform. That's perfectly valid. Oh yeah, I was supposed to go to that different island, I think.
Yeah, that's the last chest we have to dig up.
Ah. Well, anyway, thank you for joining the stream, Carrie Yumley. I have had a long day at work, so that's part of why I'm just, like, not as good at this game, because there was a lot of, package retrieval to be done at work, and supply delivery, and very boring and lifting stuff. So I got myself my steps in. Which is good. Anyway. Like, so. I mean, day and date was when I would start to be worried. Because then again, why a bunch of the super nerds will abandon Xbox and they're the heaviest spenders. Like that family that is wanting to get a $300 Fortnite box for the holidays is probably not going to care. So maybe they only appeal to those people. And maybe that's valid, too. Because, like, maybe they could show Sony that there is a way forward on subscription inclusion. Like, just port your games to Xbox.
Yeah.
We're helping you out.
I guess, like, even day and date wouldn't shock me too much, because if Microsoft did a move like that, it would kind of, I would feel like, okay, they're doing this, and hopefully they still see the viability of hardware even doing something like this. Like, if they can still say, like, we're going to sell way less consoles, but we're still going to sell enough to make it worth doing, that's where I'm like, okay, if they do day and date releases, as long as they can still back up their hardware numbers enough to justify it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Again, I think their end game is cloud streaming everything, but a cloud streaming stick for them needs to be powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't need to be powerful enough for get local games running for Microsoft to be happy, because by then, streaming technology will have been perfected, is their hope. But I think that they're going to need 1 to 2 more generations of hardware to demonstrate Edge AI. Because it's going to be powered by the cloud. We know that there are cloud-native games, like... But maybe they have cloud-responsive hardware to make it more responsive and sell cloud to people. It's the box that plays games in the cloud, and it just is very good at doing local games. Nerds, shut up. Like, give it 1 more generation of tantalizing you along. And again, having some... It seems like some back-of-the-box feature, like a regular product launch, is probably better to sell hardware to the masses. Like, the Xbox that talks to you and helps you make games. I can see that happening. I've mentioned it before, but to those who are new to the stream, that is my belief, that the next Xbox will more likely than not have some form of AI on it, because everything is going to have AI on it, whether we like it or not. That might be why they do the early gen change, because everything is software now, and they want to have the cool software. That demonstrates their like, gazillions of dollars spent in open AI. I mean, it could, like, basically use a pre-cleared list of assets to help kids make games on their box and learn to code. Because that's too, like, I don't think that they'll make good games, but for kids game maker, it would probably be fine. That would be the back of the box feature, I think. For the parents, anyway, for the $2.99 version, because I think they like those price points. So maybe they do have another disc console, but it's like the disc is just really there for the collectors. Because there's not enough new games being made on disc. You know, and they just decide, well, just enjoy the disc that you own and leave us alone about it. That's what I'm thinking happens. Is like they have a disc drive for another generation.
I don't mind them going discless if they provide an option for an add-on. Like
Again, that probably would be it.
That's enough for me to not like completely be too concerned about it.
Again, I would prefer not to have to buy back the ability to have rights over my media, but
yeah.
Well,
it's definitely not the best option, but it would be much better than just not having discs at all anymore.
Right, but the thing is,
we have a skeleton ship.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
We can probably fight this because this will get us grade 3 if we did it. So they're on our left. So we got them. Yeah.
Got him.
Alright, I'm just gonna slow up our ship because if we get too close to the outpost, they won't aggro us anymore. I can repair.
Took a hit there. Not gonna use the raw pork, of course. Oh, we got hit by a special ball.
I don't know what it did. Oh, it locks our supply barrels. That's right.
It locks our what? Sorry.
Supply barrels.
Oh, crud. That's kind of what I need if I miss many more.
I've got wood already.
Well, that's good. Kevin's usually prepared in that respect, everyone. Thank you for joining the stream, Marla. Maria.
These guys down.
Barry Marla, excuse me. Okay, let's fire this.
Turning back towards us. I'll try to keep us in range.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well.
I don't know what they're doing right now. They're just kind of asleep.
Yeah.
In that direction.
I'm pretty much with you on that, on the whole disc-less thing. They're gonna let people do their add-ons for the nerds, like. And then we'll go get to collecting the old disc library and rip them for ourselves on the emulator mode. The dev mode, but still. Like, that's why they provided that, is to be like, leave us alone about it. Like, we really just don't want our console to be hacked. So, we're gonna disincentivize hacking by making it easy to run old software. I mean, I enjoyed playing PSP games in retail mode with workarounds for a while, but, well, I'm glad I deleted my PSP emulator before they started banning consoles for that. Because that would be a massive loss of confidence in Xbox, and I would have gone to PlayStation for life, because what other high-end console option is there? So, whatever choices they make need to support competition by, yes, helping Sony's business out, because Microsoft games are popular. And Microsoft has ported games to PS2 and stuff before, so it's not like it's news to them.
Okay.
But the other thing that people are saying is that it's comparable to Sega. What do you think about that? Because you're the Sega person
not really.
to me.
I don't think so, because Sega was not in a position.
Ladies and gentlemen,
like Sega's exit happened very quickly. I don't think if Microsoft does end up, eventually not having a console, it's not going to be in the next year. With Sega, it was very quick, where it's like 1999 they launched the Dreamcast. By late 2000, they're like, ew, it's not going well. By 2001, they're out.
Yeah, but
it's not going to happen in that way. If it does happen.
I think the real problem is that the Sega Saturn was such a massive bomb that they couldn't recover from it.
Yeah.
Because
I
of
also
complicated
don't
development, lack of third-party games, lack of exclusives.
Yeah, and even if the Xbox One was not a comparative success compared to the PS4 and even Switch, but like
it established a solid audience.
it wasn't like a doomsday scenario for them in the way that the Saturn was compared to the Genesis, where it's like, oh, we have completely ceded this market to these other two companies, especially Sony at the time. they
Right.
just had no ground to stand on, and the Dreamcast felt like a very last-ditch effort from them at the time, whereas the Series X has never felt like, oh, this is definitely, the last console for Microsoft if it doesn't succeed.
Well, sorry, can or can't? I couldn't hear you over the cannonballs.
Uh, the Series X never felt like some dire
No.
last-ditch effort in the way that the Dreamcast did.
It was a supercharged Xbox One, and I was fine with that because Quick Resume changed my life. 120 FPS is amazing. The hardware sells itself to some people who are really obsessed with game performance and graphics like me. I mean, graphics to an extent, but just enough to sell the atmosphere. And nothing destroys my immersion in a game more than bad performance. Like, Immortals of Avium flopped because it had terrible marketing, and EA did its not illegal, but very vile strategy of just undermarketing a game to death and then getting them cheap as a subscription fodder. The only person who's managed to resist this formula is Jose Fares, because he makes really good games, and people are really excited about the Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake, because with all the game design knowledge he's gained in the, 10, 12 years since that game?
Yeah, it was like 2013, I think? Maybe even earlier? I forget.
And, so then he comes in being an auteur about it, and changing what needs to be changed for him in order to tell a better story, with the same kind of revolutionary focus on local and split-screen co-op. That game invented that approach, and it's super easy to do because it's top-down. They just need to polish up the graphics and add, more writing. I liked it fine back then, but I'm interested to see what a remake can do, because, well, the remakes are the ones that are able to take the risks, because they're like, okay, we can change certain things. Like, the remake of Dead Space was a very good remake. It changed things it needed to and kept the things that worked.
Yeah, I still need to beat that.
I'm
gonna
go
like
back
chapter
to it
6.
I'm gonna go back to it on New Game Plus after I finally beat Metro Exodus DLC, because I finally finished the campaign of that. I was really annoyed by the last level, but it turns out that was the last. I thought it was going to be more levels because I was getting exhausted of the game at that point. But, well, that's my linear game after that, is Dead Space Remake New Game Plus, which is, like, really good. It's still very tense, though, because, well, they increased the difficulty, obviously, but you have more weapons at the beginning, so it's a whole shake-up to the formula, just like a lot of New Game Pluses are. And unlike Spider-Man, where it's just like you got fully upgraded. I don't know. Spider-Man 2 just I didn't finish it. I DNF'd it. When I just didn't feel like going back to Spider-Man for some reason, I just was like, you know what, PlayStation, I'm done. Oh, and I sold my PSVR 2 today.
Oh yeah.
For $310 online, and I shipped it today. I took time off of work to do that. So that was quite a bit of doing. But I got it done. And I also sold, what was it? Oh, well, that's how little this game stuck in my brain. Enchanted Arms for $16.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's still a pretty in-demand game, and it's the only way you can access it is an experience. As an experience,
did you,
not all is the disc.
Yeah, so you sold it like it's out of your hands already? Because I actually was maybe willing to buy it. Oh, well.
Oh,
that's
well,
all right.
I'll get you another copy.
No, it's good. I know
for your birthday.
It's like I probably would have bought it for more, because that's a little lowball to me for how how much that goes for.
The thing is, that would have been so good. Oh,
well,
darn it. Well, it's okay. I probably could have charged you.
I'm totally like with especially 360 games that are like that game in particular, like is disc only, backwards compatible.
Right, but
yeah, no big deal.
I guess you'd reconsider it after I took it off your hands at Christmas, and you were like, "Huh, maybe I actually want to play this game."
Because I did like
Oops.
having access to that game, even though I didn't make it
I
like
had it on
that
sale.
far into it. It's like, oh, maybe I'll get back to it someday.
I had it on sale for
But it's
weeks.
all good.
I just thought that. I totally thought that. I would have totally sold it to you for $40 because that would have been great.
Yeah, I
and
totally
you could have
would've
collected
bought
it for your
honestly.
birthday. But
Because
you know
like the last, I remember I looked it up a few months ago how much it was going for. I was like, oh, it's a little too much for me.
well, I mean, like I'm fine with just getting it as a gift. I'm totally fine with that because the copies that I've seen are $20, which is pretty reasonable. And if
You've
you
seen
really
it going for 20? Okay. I mean, if you see
at
a
least
listing
on the
for it for
Mercari
20,
website, but Mercari
okay.
is also a ruthless place where only the cutthroat who are willing to cut their prices dramatically survive. I mean, it's a side hustle for me.
If you see a listing to buy it for that price, I will just scoop it up because I have been.
Oh, you know what?
I did
I'll
look
give
a
you,
couple months ago.
You know what I'll do? I'll give you an invite link because I believe that Mercari gives you $15 off your first like item or something.
That'd be cool.
As basically as an invite coupon to try and get friends. They may have changed that policy, but I started this side business during the pandemic, and so far I've
By
sold
the way,
like
don't sell the Satch and chest. I'm gonna find the key. It's somewhere on the ship.
Okay, yeah, I believe we did collect it. I had it in my hands after
It's
all.
it's definitely somewhere on here, just buried beneath all the other loot. There it is. I got it.
Okay, well, it's there. I did not touch it. For some reason, I think I can jump on those barrels. Oy. Well, it's okay. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Well...
Oh, that's a stealth ship. Never mind. Thought it was a player. It's a stealth ship. Alright, we're good.
Oh, nice! Sold the Toma Fire 5.
Yeah, I
got
just
an
got that
achievement in Game
achievement, too.
Pass
Yep.
today. And that, like... That's why my Game Pass isn't really working, because the people who really are being attracted to Game Pass are getting it very discounted with Microsoft Rewards. Like, it's an open secret that they're basically just subsidizing the biggest players to stay on the platform.
I mean, for me, I don't actually use rewards for Game Pass because I prefer to just buy years in bulk as much as I can.
That is very fair. Totally.
But yeah, I am still getting like, $30, $40 a month in rewards points. So,
it is. Plus, this man is a god at Xbox trivia. Tell him.
Oh yeah, I mean, I came in like second and third place during the last couple, and then the last one I did, I got like third or fourth, I forget, out of like 10,000 people.
And you got $100 prize from Xbox.
Oh yeah,
Just a gift card.
I mean, I got 100. I forget how much it was. It was like 100, and then I got a Gear Shop for their physical stuff card, and I got like a Halo hoodie and a Gears water bottle, a bunch of other random trinkets.
Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. If you want help with your Xbox trivia, then ask that.
To be fair, it wasn't even just Xbox stuff. They were asking other game stuff too. It was like Xbox, like focused, but not exclusively.
Yeah. That is very fair.
They had some real curveballs in there where, like, oh, thank God I know about this Atari game from 1978, and no one else seems to. Because this is not the audience for that. This is probably mostly teenagers. And I'm just like getting these questions faster and more accurately than them.
Oh, just destroying them.
Yep.
Their self-esteem.
Yep.
But for the Xbox swag, no, there is no shame here. Because, like, you're really good, and it's a game of skill.
Yeah.
Not
I mean, the
an
one
evil
that
game of chance like pinball. I just learned about
the one that I got
being illegal.
I was in first for a while, and then at the very last question, I was in basically a tie. And I just forgot what the color of the original Xbox development kit was.
What was it?
It was clear, translucent.
You know what? I think I did know that. It's just that I was like waiting for your
What
answer.
happened was one of the other options was silver, which was the color of the original prototype shown off, but not the development kits. That's where I got tripped up. So that cost me
that tripped
getting
up my
a
brain
free
too.
Series X.
I
That would have gotten me a free Series X if I knew that.
Huh.
But I didn't trip up on that last question.
Okay, well, that is A-okay, because you already had one.
Yeah, and I got a decent consolation prize. I still got like a couple $100 in Microsoft rewards and other stuff out of it, so it wasn't so bad. Alright, I think we have the gunpowder barrels, and I think that's it. Oh wait, do we still have stuff by the harpoons? No, we got that. Okay, yeah, I think we just have gunpowder barrels.
Alrighty then, well...
Lower emissary?
Okay, I am selling the Stronghold gunpowder barrels so fast, everybody, because you really want to get rid of these as soon as possible. They will explode your entire ship, new PS5 players. Because that is just how it'll work. Your ship will be toast, and you'll have to... Very toasty, and you'll have to put out a lot of water and do a lot of repairs. You don't want that headache, believe me. Just put your gunpowder barrels at the top of the crow's nest, and then jump off the ship as quick as you can when you get to a port to sell them. So, just double checking. And it looks like we sold everything, so...
Alright, let's go lower emissary and call it a night.
Actually, I think I'm gonna keep going, because we're so
good.
close to 5. Alright, it seems like that's time for you, but I will try and get it
I've got to get to bed.
I'll try to get it on solo. I think that'll be an interesting show for people.
Okay. Okay, so I think if I quit, you'll become the captain, right? Is that how this works?
I think so. It doesn't really matter because it'll be my ship.
Let's find out. Yeah. All right.
Ow. I landed from 10 feet. Oh, I think it's fortune reputation. Cool. And let's see. I can resupply, but I think I'll be fine on my own.
Yeah,
I probably will.
Supplies.
I probably will be, contending with nature more, because that tends to be how my solo journeys go, and that's why I'm kind of nervous about them. I mean, on the other hand, no. I have to keep this going. I have to be like, oh, yeah, there's so much more I wasn't able to talk about, because these conversations are very intricate, and
unfortunately, I have to cut it short, because I'm exhausted, but, yeah, I will catch you. I don't know the next night I'll be on. The next possible night might be Monday, but I'm not sure yet.
Monday could work. I mean, Sunday I have the Super Bowl. Friday I have my mom coming over, and we're gonna, like, hang out and do Masters of the Air. So, I won't be very available. And
if
so
not
Monday night works.
Yeah, if it doesn't end up working on Monday, because I do have work the next morning, but it's only a 4-hour shift. So I'm kind of judging how tired I'll be. If Monday doesn't work, I'm working the next few days, so maybe, I forget if Thursday or Friday I'm off, but it might be a little bit, because I am working a lot. So I will let you know.
That's fair. Yep, and I'll try to figure out more of this show, because I had fun, and it seems like a lot of, quite a few people did too. I'll see the viewership numbers, but I believe that this show did better than the last one, because I actually think I managed to get your audio in this time. And it was actually a conversation instead of me talking to air. But
alright, awesome.
Anyway, you have a good night.
Yeah. Yep, I'll catch you later. See you.
Alright, bye. Okay, well, I had to go to some extremes, people, to actually get my friend's audio in. But as you know, if you're tuned into SunnyRedemption Says, with your host, official DC Shepherd, your captain for the evening, settle in for some info dumps. This is, very info dumpy because I'll be talking to you, my audience. And I'll be trying to get grade 5 in Sea of Thieves. Thank you for joining the stream, people. I should probably use this to repair the mast, because we did take a bit of a beating the last bit of the show, for those who are new. And I need to just... Oh, the anchor. Duh. It's been a while since I've done Sea of Thieves solo. And normally I would be on my ship, the Redemption. But the Thousand Sunny, which is the One Piece titled and completely Banjo-Kazooie decked out ship that Captain Death of You and Me, also known as my good friend Kevin, has had for a long time. Since the captaincy was a thing. And thank you to everybody who is joining this stream. If you're new here, please consider following me, because I will chop the best bits up into segments. I'll put the whole thing on YouTube. I mean, it's not going to be entirely PG, because I do swear occasionally. I think that's fine. Oh, I got some supplies over here. Oh, for those of you who are gonna get this game on PS5, because it's gonna happen. It's just gonna. Like, I'm totally for it. More people playing this amazing game? Why would I be against that as a main Xbox player who sold my PS5 because it didn't fit with my life? You know, and that's okay for me. And I think Xbox will be fine. So people should stop freaking out about it. Because, like, we don't know what's actually in anything until Tuesday. We really ought not to panic, as an Xbox community, because, well, for those of you who are new to the show, I think the conclusion that my friend Kevin and I have reached is that consoles are about more than exclusivity, and exclusives don't sell consoles as much as they used to, and also Sony is ahead 2-1 no matter what Microsoft does, so they're just putting some games on their competitor's platform in order to raise money. Because the acquisitions cost $7 and $70 billion for Bethesda and Activision, respectively. That's a lot of money to sink into video games without an immediate return, and Microsoft is fairly risk-averse when it comes to consumer products. They come up with good ideas, but then they abandon them, so I think there is some worry that Xbox could be zoomed out that isn't entirely invalid. But I doubt it, because Xbox earned $15 billion last year for the company. It's not making money, they just want to earn more of it. And for a business whose primary concern is making money, it makes sense. They like earning $15 billion a year, but that still leaves them on track to pay off the biggest debt they've ever taken on, the biggest acquisition of their entire company's existence, a little sooner by having more money come in from PlayStation and Nintendo. Whoa, that was a lot of water that just flowed over my ship, everybody. Anyway, so, like, Hi-Fi Rush is a definite. If you're interested in that game at all, then, and if you don't have an Xbox already, then get it on your platform of choice. I don't mind. I have negative rhythms, so I would not be able to play this game anyway. I literally cannot understand the game at all. It's just my neurodivergence, I'm sorry. It's a good game. It seems to be doing well. I have zero ability with rhythm games of any kind. I know you can technically ignore the beat and just not get scores, but the sound would drive me nuts. It does. I have sound sensitivity due to autism. But what I do also have is an appreciation for good games, even if I don't personally like them. I like to assess things from a lot of different perspectives. That doesn't mean that I'm always objective, but I think what I offer my audience that's different is a sense of honesty in my understanding of video games coming from a, non-judgmental place for people who just want to enjoy their hobby. Like, I personally, the PS5 didn't work for me, and I sold it. Because I have very little time for video games now, and what time I do have is easier to incrementally progress through. Hey, thanks, that one boy. Thanks, Jake. I am good. I did a pretty good job the past hour of Voyages, considering that I was tired from a long day of work. But we made it to grade 4 in Sea of Thieves, and so I am really enjoying that. And we also discussed, which I'll put up on YouTube under my DC Shepherd YouTube. Just there you'll be able to see the whole stream. I don't really know how else to put it up because TikTok won't let me. It still has a 10-minute video limit, so... And I don't want to bother with Twitch either, because Amazon is the antichrist of gaming. If such a thing is... Oh, hi, Jane. Okay, well, I did not mean to misname you. But... Well, so basically, my conclusion is that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League stinks. Xbox is not going the way of Sega. And live service games have ruined everything for everyone. They have. Like, they absolutely have. Because everything has to be appealing to lots of people on lots of different hardware. And, like, have accessible gameplay. And that's totally fine. But tied with hooks that are grindy and demanding of your time. I'm tired of that. A lot of people are tired of live service games. The trend is over. You can't keep it up forever. You can't have every game last for 10 years. So you need to make games that are good that people will play for 10 years. But, well, with so many single-player studios going to live service, we've lost our ability to tell stories in gaming. Suicide Squad's Killed the Justice League story is bad because if it had just been its own thing, it would have been fine. But they had to resurrect the corpse of Batman Arkham in order to degrade it in front of me. Like... And yes, I spoiled myself on the ending. But it wasn't necessarily the ending that bothered me. It was the fact that there was no epic send-off battle. No, nothing from Rocksteady's decade-plus of knowledge on this subject. On the subject of great boss battles. Mr. Freeze is one of the greatest boss battles of all time because the boss actually adjusts his tactics. Because by then, in Arkham City, it's been a while since I played these games, so I've just been kind of going through Arkham Knight, and I might switch to that. But I feel like this format gives me a bit more ability to relax. Although, you know what? No, I want to get to grade 5. That's why I was doing this. That's what I'm promising, is a solo journey in Sea of Thieves that's entertaining. Even if it's for only 2 people. As long as I entertain you, then I hope that that works out well for us. That I get to entertain people and you are entertained. But also informed. So, I just sold a bunch of things on Plunder Outpost after a long and merry chase, and I think I can do a captain's treasure map. That should be doable by myself. Like, uh-oh. Reaper. By Ancient Spire Outpost. Oh, if he I'm emissary, and if he gets me, then it's over, chat. It's over. Like, there's no way by myself that I can survive. So, what you need to do for these solo voyages to work is you need to subscribe to me, because then I can validate that you are who you say you are. That you're over 18. Because, like, no, I don't want to play with minors, I'm sorry. You can be fans of my content, you can leave comments, and that's about it. If you're not over 18, I don't want you in my Discord. But, like... Well, then you get to play with me. Like, you get to help me out in these voyages, and we get to discuss whatever we feel like related to video game news. I get to perhaps interview you about something you want to talk about, and it could be a fun show. So, that would make for a better show, because then I would know who you are and get to build a rapport with you for the show. It would be a way for you to advance your skills, I think. Okay, well, let's see what the map says. Oh, Snake Island? That should be easy. I can knock this out. And that's to the north, so I gotta turn north after raising the anchor, which I forgot to do again. So that's just a consideration. The lowest that TikTok would let me make it was $2.99 a month. I'm probably not going to produce enough content for TikTok to justify that forever, but if you like what I do and want to get more of it, then that would be helpful. Because the other thing is that you could get sneak previews of my biggest project yet, creatively. It is currently being done with 2 other writers, mainly. There are a couple other people in the roleplay who make up characters, but... well, how best to put it? It's a complex universe that we're making together. Because, on the one hand, is me, who has been really inspired by Napoleonic history and the constitution of a Napoleonic state. And the Empress of that empire, who's basically a female Napoleon with more explicit autism than it seems that it's possible that Napoleon had. I mean, I'm no mental health expert, but the guy read alone in his room rather than interact with his family. I read alternate history books during important family events sometimes. I had autism. It happens. That doesn't mean he had autism, but anyway, I'm getting off track. Then on the other hand are the black female writer and the black male writer. The black female writer is named Alove, and she and I are writing characters together in this roleplay. We have variable ability to do that, but a lot of my free time has been spent writing this book, because she makes a very compelling idea for a kingdom of riptop vines that lace your entire body, of people who live for thousands of years, and an empress, played by me, who is open-minded and curious and wants to... Oh my god. I do not need a Megalodon right now! I do not! I do not. I really don't. But, like, this stuff is really cool. I'm gonna use some of my tax refund to commission some art for this thing, and then you'll be able to see it as part of the subscription. You'll just be able to see the early stuff that we're working on. Or at least some of it. Like, we're still in the drafting stages. And my other partner is named Ganymede, and he... The three of us, Alove, Ganymede, and DC Shepherd, we're a collective of writers. We're doing this together. And his world is more like based in West Africa. I don't want to say too much more, because I don't want to pen in my fellow writers. Probably change the direction of this quite quickly, but that's probably the reason why I'm not making as many TikTok videos or playing as many video games, is because I'm really invested in this project. Like I haven't been in anything in my entire time at TikTok. Because TikTok is ephemeral. But a book is forever. And I want to be a book author. Even if I have to self-publish with 2 other people. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all, because you get the support of other writers, and these people are my friends. So I don't have that ego of wanting to be a solo author at all costs. Because solo authoring takes time and is a long marathon to write by yourself in your room. With this, I'm writing with friends, and there will be mild and spicy versions. That's why you have to be over 18 to see any previews of the spicy versions. Well, precisely why. Okay, so we are at the island. Good. And everything is stashed correctly. I actually still have my purple lantern from when I was killed by a player. So I'm going to set the lantern flames down here. And go on the island. Anyway. Aha. Well, anyway. So, let's see where the compass actually says that I am. On the south beach of the middle island. Okay. So, I probably have to go to the north bit. Judging by the topography, I think I have to go through this cave and then around to the left. That's probably the easiest way to do that with this island. I haven't really ever had to explain the geography of Sea of Thieves before, but considering that there might be new players, I feel it's my duty to do that. I want to say to anyone who's new to the show, if you have a PS5, you are my friend. Like, I don't care about console war stuff. I don't. I want... Oh! Wow. That's quite the way to introduce myself to a new player audience. But I'm solo adventuring in Sea of Thieves, so anything can happen. At 11:23 at night, so I will probably have to lower my voice at some point. But hey, now I got a sickly green light, and it looks really cool. So, come with me as I info dump on you about video games and news, etc. Because I have a lot of thoughts, and sometimes conversations with my friends are not enough to hold them. I just had a really good one with my friend Kevin, but he's offline now. I'll upload the full thing on YouTube tomorrow under the name DC Shepherd. And you'll find it under that same name as you can on TikTok if you want to follow me and learn when I go live. TikTok is where I have my biggest audience and my biggest potential to grow my audience, and I want to make this more of a hobby that I slightly get paid for so I can make better content. But, well... Probably I'd have to sell a shirt in the shop to make any money on this platform. I mean, I'm fine just doing little drips and drabs for free, but I'm working on a book that will hopefully be good, and then also be art, and then also make money. You know, because people should be able to earn money for their art, I think. But not for 95 years, so I'm glad that Mickey is going in the public domain. Wait, oops, nope, I don't want to go back on there yet. I'll have use for this food yet. So. I keep getting distracted by all the stuff that's on this island. And the nerves about fighting skeletons by myself, because for those of you who have been following the stream for a few minutes, I got exploded, so, that was not fantastic. But I'm still on Snake Island. I'm by myself, but I can do it. I'm a good enough pirate now to do that. Okay, so it's probably around here somewhere. But I'm probably missing out on that. I also keep hearing this mermaid statue voice, which makes me want to look for a mermaid statue, but this time I don't have the support of a partner with all of that, so I have to see if it's worth it solo. If it's like red, then I'm just gonna leave it alone unless I find a gunpowder barrel. But so far, no luck. I mean, gunpowder barrels were all over the place in the skeleton fort, and they were tiring to deal with. I should probably have just used a sniper and, like, throwables, but I was just, like, wanting to go back into the battle. Because I knew that eventually we would just revive each other to victory. Let's see. Maybe here? Nope. I'm determined to get to grade 5, though, no matter how many people are viewing this stream, because it's me climbing a gaming mountain just by myself to get through this without being attacked by a Reaper, which is a huge risk if you emissary. But I'm an experienced enough player that I think I can do it by myself. I'm just digging up every crossroad that I can, because I think that's part of my strategy when it comes to treasure maps. That and doing a better job of reading the topography by zooming in by clicking in the right stick, which should probably be R3 for you PlayStation peeps out there. Okay, so what I probably need to do to really orient myself, because sometimes it is a little bit hard for me to get adjusted, and I'm usually pretty good at that, is to see the positioning of the rocks, because it seems like there'd be a bit more beach at this one. Well, let's just go to the middle of this and then get the treasure. Anyway. Okay, well, let's do this systematically. It's hard to do by myself because, well, again, usually I have a friend helping me, but also, like, I haven't done the straight treasure maps in a while because we've been doing skeleton hordes. But now there's actual, like, prestiging in this game, like Call of Duty. So, get your mitts on a copy of Sea of Thieves when it goes big on PS5. Because that'll be the big moment for this game, and I'm perfectly happy to have that. I am also suffering from snakebite poisoning, but I have enough food. I'll be fine. I am not having any luck. Okay. Ow. Leave me alone. Ow. Why am I on fire? Ow. Why am I bleeding out? Nope. I don't like that. Ugh. Okay. Oh, well. It's been a while since I've faced such hardship in this game. As pirate captain of my own voyage, I will narrate it how I choose. But I still have 3 bullets. I just need to actually not get attacked by skeletons for 2 seconds. And I have to do different tactics when I'm by myself than when I'm with Kevin, who usually backs me up very easily. Because we know how each other's gameplay methods work. Okay, so I think what this map is trying to tell me is that it's... Aha! On this little beach here. Nice. But there's going to be a throw attack. And you know, you may not have known any of this before because you haven't considered playing Sea of Thieves. But consider this your live tutorial. Newbies who will be playing this on PS5 because, well, I think it'll come to PS5 and it'll be a great game on PS5 because it's a great game on Xbox. Great games are great games at the end of the day, so I'm not entirely, like, I'm not doom saying Xbox at all. I'm just not. Never count out Xbox. They usually know how to reinvent to get through hard times. I mean, the Xbox One generation was technically considered a failure by the standards of the 360, but they had, well, they had time. They had a whole generation to experiment. Okay, so that was that. Okay, so now I know where the second treasure is and then the first treasure. Because it wasn't easy to tell just by looking from the big island which one was which, so it was a process of elimination. There might be some good stuff in the rowboat chest, but I doubt it. I already have a rowboat as well, and I don't think I've picked that one clean. Okay then, well, I'm just diving into the water here to get my treasure up on the boat. If I get to grade 5 as quick as I can, then I'll just sell it and call it a night, because that'll be... I can't top that. Oh my goodness, I have a long way to go, don't I? Ugh, well... I mean, the big gains would probably be from random treasure that I find along the way, because this game gives you a lot of that. It makes sense. Okay, so I already did that island. So now what I do is I go to the northwest corner. That's where I thought before. Okay. Let's see here. Huh. It feels like it should be at a crossroads, but I don't know where it is. I gotta think for a second. Well. You like not this time, Snake. Okay, well, glad we settled that. Anyway, nobody said getting to grade 5 emissary by myself would be easy. Solo voyaging is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. Because you have to keep up a lot of constant variables in your mind. Like, is there an enemy ship out there, or is that a skeleton ship? Normally you would have the support of another crew member, but you can't in this instance. And I also forgot to fill my thing with ammo, so whatever. Pick up Snake. Oh, okay, well. But at a certain point I also have to take other opportunities. In this case, it seems like there's a mermaid statue somewhere. That gets you a lot of stuff. But I hear the chanting, but I don't know where it is. So you know what? For the time being, I'm going to move to this other island. Because I think I can do that fairly easily. Well, let's see. Well, I'm digging that up. And, oh dear, my PC battery is really going down. Hang on. I've been charging my headset for the past couple hours to get it to full. Fingers crossed that, there we go. You know what I forgot to do? I gotta get my friend a listing for Enchanted Arms. That's my birthday gift to him. For the PS3, I mean, I don't think he would be opposed to that, but share messages. What? Share copy link. Please let me copy link. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, and then that's $20. It's pretty good. And then he can snatch it up for that, because he said he would be absolutely willing to buy a copy off someone for $20. It's the market of Xbox collecting on Mercari. It's a little lower because there's not a bidding element driving up the price. So if you want to buy disc copies, then totally, by all means, use Mercari. It's a great place to buy used games for cheaper than GameStop, and you get to talk to human beings. And, well, let's see. I have made, on Mercari, $2,965. In the past 4 years. It's a side hustle. But it gets me spending money and also saving money. You know, to have a bit of a buffer during inflation, so I don't think I made enough to report it on my taxes, but at least in 2023. But maybe I did. They'll send me a form if I did. And I'll pay taxes on that, but grumble a bit. Maybe it'll just reduce my refund. But anyway, that's how I afford video games, is I sell them. Anyway, I'm now carting off this treasure chest. If I can't get to this after a couple of voyages, and they become longer and longer, and I get more tired, then I might just end the stream, because it's been about 2 hours now, and, you know, it's late. I want to talk to my friends, too. So maybe I'll just sell what I have and hope that that's enough. I'm sure it'll be a good grade. I just... If it was so late at night. If I was just starting to stream by myself and, like, having people to help me out, then I could easily see myself doing this for 3 hours, but it's late at night, it's my apartment, you know, I have to be careful about that. But let's raise the... Let me just rein in this a little bit. Just remind myself to do that. You gotta plan ahead a little bit when you're a captain by yourself. For things like that, you need to just, like, do them as soon as you can when you get back on your ship, because, well, otherwise you could be toast at a critical time because you're getting attacked and you're just constantly repairing, because your ship is, you forgot to raise anchor. Which has happened to me, you know, it happens to every captain. Anyway, so... Oh. Okay, well, leave me alone, Skelly Bros. I want to be completely successful here. Okay, anyway. Thank you to whoever just joined the stream. I may not see your name, but know that I appreciate you for helping the show out. Anyway. So, I am having a hard time with the last chest on here. I mean, the compass bearing northwest. So I think I had the wrong end of the island. And I also think I didn't go far enough in this direction. Which is probably my downfall, because I combed the other side of the island. Just in case, but, well, sometimes the geography is not perfect to read, and it takes a while to get used to it. And I haven't been on a treasure chest quest in Snake Island in a while, though Kevin can probably remember better than me. That sort of thing, but, yep. I mean, like, the guy can just crush it at Xbox trivia, so... And other video game trivia, too. He's won hundreds of dollars in Microsoft Awards points. And I know the secrets of grinding Microsoft Awards points to get a month of Game Pass and continue feeding that treadmill forever. But, no... Because we're making Microsoft lose money hand over fist with this thing. No wonder they tried to nerf rewards points to 3 points a search. But if you want to save money on anything, why not? Check out Microsoft Rewards. That's the thing, is like they made it too good. They made the deal too good. And they locked in the Xbox Live Rewards players. Yes, I finally got it! Woo! Okay, well. Oh, solo... Oh, nope, I'm poisoned. It's okay. I'll just slash you up and then eat you for dinner. Where did you come from? I know you have spit up on me. Demonic danger worm. Danger noodle, come on. Where are you? On the other hand, maybe it's best to ignore the snake. When I have a pineapple, because that cures poison. Anyway, oh, that's the... You know what? Right, I did finish the voyage on here. Okay, well, let's refill on ammo then, and I'll try to see what my grade is, I guess. Yeah, I got all 3 chests, so Let's see, how does that work? Adventures. Yeah, they don't really tell me. Okay, alright, I'm, like, almost halfway to grade 5. Ugh. It's a dilemma, because I want to be able to talk to my friends, who I'm writing a book with. We've been trying to talk to each other about strategy and plot for some time now, and it's probably time to be like, okay, here's how I think we do this amazing world of steampunk, fantasy, and magical plants work for a large audience, or for an audience of at least Reddit geography nerds, who I lure in from the corners of world building after commissioning a nice map with human artists. For now, we're just role-playing it, but I'm compiling it into a Google Doc that they'll all get to collaborate on, and we can refine the plot to be better for everybody. And with 3 people working on it, you know, it depends on our schedules, but we've been riding up a storm with this thing because we're all really psyched for it. It's called The Republican Empire of Dreams. I can't wait for you all to see it. Oh, well, yep. Anyway, I think I'm probably just gonna sell now. As a result, I'm also feeling tired, but you know, I still have energy enough to talk to somebody for about an hour before I go to sleep because, well, I had an early day at the office today, but I usually have a lot of energy when I'm feeling creative, and I like talking to people, even if you're just viewing me through a screen, and you're only one person. You still mean a lot to me. As I continue to grow my channel and try to figure out a sustainable path forward. So far, I think I've got a decent viewership for this show, for considering that it's a new format and it's a game that doesn't seem to attract a lot of viewers. Sea of Thieves, but just wait until it gets on PS5. Then it'll explode and everybody will want to play this game, and I will happily cross-play with PS5 players. Like, people will get an amazing game. And as I said earlier in the stream, games are amazing. But they're being, like, corrupted into live service snooze fests. And the biggest games are remakes, and the generation really hasn't started, and the exclusives aren't really there on both sides, because games are taking longer to make. They just are. So it makes perfect sense for Microsoft to recoup some of the cost of the $70 billion acquisition of Activision and the $7 billion acquisition of Bethesda by, well, putting games on other platforms. Like, it's not new for anybody. Even Sony puts their games on PC because they know that's where the money is. And Valve is an arms dealer here. They like having games on Steam. Especially on the Steam Deck, which seems to be making money hand over fist and making Sony interested in making a portable again. I mean, I would love a PSP 3. That would be so cool. I have played portable PlayStation before, and I liked playing the PSP, but it came with old hardware problems. Such as, like, the disc making noise, and the battery being bad, and the UMDs being grainy, and especially the TV shows for some reason. They had to cram a lot onto the disc, and it shows, but I love that little thing. I would absolutely love to be like, here, I will happily play my digital PS Vita games, and I'll play PS5 games from the cloud, because they're doing that. But they have to survive. And if they're going to sell a portable in 2025, then they're going to have to do cloud gaming as a proposition. Okay, well, I need to use the quest table again. Let's see. Or, you know what? I'm just gonna sell what I have. And hope that that boosts my reputation enough to get to grade 5. So probably not on that one. And I landed at the wrong dock for the Sovereigns, but... well, like... gaming isn't gonna be less special because only you get to have it. That doesn't make much sense to me. As an overall concept. I'm fine with all Xbox exclusives being timed. That makes sense. You get the people in the first year when they're likely to buy the game anyway, and then you get a second wave of sales. That's probably all this is we're gonna eventually port games to PS5. Like, they're gonna clear up all the, you know, brouhaha around competition by just making games for PS5. Timed does not mean less special. I mean, I was glad I had an Xbox to play Rise of the Tomb Raider first. And then guess what? PS4 got a port later because it was undeniable as a console. So, of course they're gonna port stuff to PS5 to make money. Hopefully I didn't burn it. I did burn it, damn it. Okay. I try not to swear very often on this channel, but, well, that burnt snake is probably worth very little. It's okay, I'm cashing out this evening anyway, because I am very tired. And I have had a long day, and I had a good long show. I'll put this whole thing up on YouTube. And if you like what you saw, then follow me there, follow me TikTok, follow me on Instagram. Instagram I'll use for slightly different things, such as book covers, and... you know what? I'll commission people right there and then, because I'm not... I think I can do that. Like, commission a cover artist. A human one. With my tax refund, to some degree. And then I save the rest. That's a very sensible strategy to combat inflation right now, is to save your tax refund. That's what always helps me in the beginning of the year, because, well, who doesn't like getting a tax refund? But, I gotta get back around here. But I plan to commit about $500 in commissioning. I'm betting that I get a tax refund bigger than that, but, you know, when I'm a little bit more flush with cash is when I'll do that. Like, it'll depend a lot on things, but I am going to be commissioning queer and people of color illustrators, yeah, illustrators, basically, because illustrators are under attack right now, and independent illustrators need support to keep their stuff from AI. I will also help you install and use Glaze to protect your art from AI. I mean, I'll admit, I've used AI art as a way to storyboard for myself, basically, and my friends, but never for any commercial purpose, ever. That is my guarantee here, is I will not do that to you. I respect you too much as people to not commission a human for the art on my cover. I will also, you know, be competitive about it. I'll put it on Instagram and be like, hey, contact me. But I'm also going to go to a queer neurodivergent event. And I think that's where I'm going to announce it, because there's a built-in audience of queer creatives who may want to write music. I'll give them the plot details, I'll give them the money, and then they'll make great art for us. It will sell itself. It will help raise the profile of this book in the queer community. And I am so excited to announce A Republican Empire of Dreams. Worked on by 3 artists. True artists. I hope. You know what? I'll quote Michael Eisner. If we make something, then we can make history. It may be art. We'll make money. This is me paraphrasing him, because I don't remember off the top of my head, because it's been a while since I listened to Disney War. But I learned a lot from that little book about running a business, about like, you know, who do I trust? And I trust these two people very dearly because I've talked with them long into the night. I've plotted an entire expansive steampunk / biopunk thing with African setting inspiration, with inspirations in the Second French Empire and First French Empire's constitutions. I wrote the entire constitution myself. It is very intricate. If you are a constitution nerd, you will like this book, because I have constitutional sessions. Oh, there's that. Oh my goodness. We got so much stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, you know what? That's how I get my stuff across, as being like, hey, come in. I want to hire you. In the age of AI art, we should all stick together, is my preference as an artist. So I will also be writing specifically my share of the copyright into the public domain at an earlier date than 95 years. Because, like, what benefit is it to me if I sit on my IP? I think that my co-authors would agree. One is a wonderful and imaginative black woman named A-Love, and she has great characters and a strong inspiration from something she loves, and that is my jam too. Because I'm writing what I'm inspired by right now, which is Napoleon, and how do you run an empire? And I try to have her, Andrell, do it ethically, but she's making mistakes. And you know why? Because she's human, and no empress is perfect. So she gets drawn into a marriage that she doesn't want, and longs for somebody who she cannot have. For two somebodies who are very upset with her, for understandable reasons. They are people, after all, and feelings get hurt when politics trumps love. That's the premise of Republican Empire Dreams, as I see it. I don't want to foreclose anything at this point by telling you more, but basically that's the idea of the story. It's like, it's a two-worlds sort of story as well, written by people with diverse perspectives. One is a black woman, one is an older black gentleman named Ganymede, who is an excellent character writer as well. He writes with such strong emotion that you can't help but be hooked by his writing. And he is writing from a place of his own perspective. Let's see. Okay, so I think I'm out of things to sell. But yeah, I'll give 3 minutes of closing on why you should be interested. Because again, I will be employing queer and neurodivergent artists by commissioning them, is the hope, to give people a boost up and to connect us all and spread the word through their own audiences about this book. Because if we three of us do this right, this could change the world. I don't say that very often, but I have felt inspired as nothing else by writing a steampunk French empire. France perfectly fits with steampunk because it invented the genre of steampunk fiction. Hello, Jules Verne. But like modernized. Like, the Empress is very much a person who has muscled her dictatorship into allowing gay marriage and polygamy and polyamory, she would want to put it. Gender queer people feel safe in the Empire. Sexism is out and racism are outlawed, but as we all know, they never go away entirely. no matter how much the government stamps it out. And I mean, Napoleon let people talk in private and then suppressed public speech. So my Empress says all speech has to be considerate, and that's an important theme of this book. And that is what upsets her more than anything, is when people are being inconsiderate of somebody else. She tries to fight for as many people as possible, and gets herself in a politically advantageous marriage that she doesn't love, because the southern part of the empire that's federated with it, called, so it's very semi-autonomous, is called Garasam. And its Asami savanna is on fire a lot of the time because of lack of water in the ground due to steam industry extractivism. Yeah, I didn't really feel like settler colonialism fit as a paradigm for this world. Because, well, the thing is that the Kingdom of Baharia is no joke. They've just been hiding their strength for thousands of years, and they would absolutely be able to defend their homeland. There is no reason for the Empire to invade them, because they need Baharia's abundant sources of water. Water is starting to dry up in certain places, but that's manageable, because the royals have the Eternal River. And they drink from it, and they live forever. And only they know it. So they guide Baharia with eternal leadership, whereas my Empress rules for life, but she has a normal human lifespan, and has designed a very intricate political system to get, well, work done. You know, she ultimately can overrule them with a en bloc vote of the three curiae of the Legislative Assembly, the Curiate, which I borrowed that name directly from Rome. I will not be ashamed of that. The Tribunate is an invention of Napoleon in France that I absolutely adore, where you got to talk about legislation, but not vote on it. You just told the legislature what you thought, and then the government, run by the consul, Napoleon, would give their perspective, and then the legislative body would vote on it. But stop me if you've heard this before. An unelected body of old men serving for life interprets the Constitution as it sees fit. That was called, my friends, the Senat Conservator. The Conservative Senate. I wish I was making that up. But Napoleon appointed most of its members as first consul, or through, like, the self-selective nomination systems of the consulate. A bunch of people, and I wanted to have a nominating system that made sense to Undrell, because she likes to pick a few people here who have certain expertise, and oh wow, that was a very delayed gold getting notification. But hey, I'm gonna end the stream pretty soon, but she thinks that if she can control the political process of the country, then by using some constitutionalism to allow people to have perspectives, but never to override her. But she's usually right about things, and has kind of bought her own hype at Undrell de Constancy, because she was a general at 15. Her father raised her that way and showed her nothing else, and so she decided to be really good at it, to please him, and over 5 years, she defeated Garasam in war, but she was merciful, because she recognized that it would be to occupy this country that is very different from their culture. The Tarajian culture is the predominant culture on the continent, but that's basically because of land area. They have a very light garrison and army in the major cities, because the rural areas can defend themselves largely, since they're mostly in the interior, and internal rivers and lakes are drying up, so there might be resistance in the interior from that, because that would cause some anxiety of, like, you know, our agriculture is burning up. Why are you taking so much steam, industry? So the extractivism is also hurting the Tarajians. and they are trying to do extractivism in Baharia, and that causes conflict, is my thinking as a world builder. That doesn't mean that will be the final direction of it, but I will do my best to help it be informed by history. And they will lend their perspectives, and it will be a beautiful symphony once we get it right. At this rate, I think I can have a finished product with their help and the commissions of so many talented people to build hype out on the market. Through an independent bookselling program for small booksellers to partake in, including one who happens to be a friend of mine from way back when, like 2015, when we were on the same nation-state server together. That's all I can say, but she, the first person to realize that she was trans, and now I have realized that I'm trans. Apparently, it attracted the pre-trans people in my life. There were a couple more people who came out as queer or trans later. But I feel like I have to give back sooner rather than later. And so this is why I'm doing this project, is to be like, hey, look, guys, let's just do whatever we want. I'm game. And I have done a lot of world building and character work for my characters, and they have done an excellent job on their characters and their world building. It hasn't been shown yet because it's still the early scenes and it's still in Taragia, and I want to show the cool steampunk empire doing cool steampunk things before we move on. Probably the last half of the book. But, well, I won't spoil how it ends because we haven't written that part yet or discussed it. So I don't want to foreclose them, but essentially, if you like that sort of premise, if you're the type who's been... Oh yeah, that's what I was forgetting to do. Now I can call it a night. Yeah, there we go. Thank you for tuning in, whoever you are. It was really good to meet you.